I will. Good evening, everyone. This is Ann Jansen. This is October 17th, and we are doing a recap of the convention, which was extremely exciting. There were about 3,000 people there. We were in Orlando, Florida, and the weather was beautiful, a little bit humid the first day. We went down a couple days early just to relax and hang out a little bit, which was really, really awesome. So we'll share like a couple of thoughts, and then if we still have some more time, everybody can share. So I will start. It was amazing to be there. I had been at the This Is It conference also, which was when I went to that was the first time I had been with a lot of my friends who had been with the last company that I was with. So it was awesome to see that. So this was even better, meeting a bunch of people I hadn't met before on our own team. So that was awesome. The biggest, probably the big two takeaways I got was we are global. We are just global. With the other company, I was only with, we were the United States only. And so I think my mind was pretty small about LifeWave, that I was mostly more centrally located. And I know we have those other countries, and that was always kind of in the distance for me. But there were maybe a third people of Asians, like Taipei, Taiwan. There are just so many people there. Hey, Judy, could you help Mel Baker get in? Do you have his number? Not.
What do you mean help him get in? I can't.
Do you have Mel's information?
Yep.
Okay, just he's trying to get in. He's having a hard time getting in. And so there were just so many people there, and they were so well dressed, and they were so young, and they were so fit. It was just like there was so much energy in them, and it was just great. And I thought, we are so global. And they had a bunch of some interpreters sometimes, so people were speaking, within Mandarin or whatever language, and it just made me feel how global we are, and how I will now reach out. I have a lot of ties with just a sec, Mel's calling. We have a lot of, I personally have ties with Italy, so I will now reach out to my friends in Italy. So that was amazing. And then the fact that we are really a technology company. It was really, the convention was about how we are a technology company, and we will talk more about those. And then in the recap that the corporate sent, it talked about these future things. So what I'm going to say in the future is that we are a technology company when I'm doing presentations, and then I am in the patch division. So that's how I figure I'm going to be saying that. So Jack and Judy, want to talk about your experiences?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
He's got muted there. Yeah, well, I just would have felt the excitement. Of course, it's always so nice. It's hard to understand a convention if you're not at a convention. I think we lost this.
No, we're good.
Anyway, so what I saw there was just to listen to David and of course all the speakers talk about this company and what it's doing with its potential. But I could see that David is way far ahead of the curve. He's 20 some years out ahead of what's going on in technology, and this isn't going to just only be a patch company someday. The way I took it, it's going to involve in lots of different areas of life that is going to help a lot of things in the future. And of course, to find out how David his responsibility or his passion for helping organizations like the Red Cross and and trying to help people in the communities that are struggling with disasters, and all that is just makes you feel you're part of a great company at a great time in life. So I wish I was a little younger someday.
Yeah, just to add to that, yes, David and some of the other corporate people too mentioned many times, this is not just a patching company, it's a technology company. And that really came through in all the different talks that people had about how we're moving forward. It was just such a well done event. Everything I thought was just really first class. They had entertainment usually every morning and beginning after lunch, just to get people going, get their energy flowing. And then Thursday night they had a themed 80s party, which was really fun. Some of our group dressed as the Minnesota Twins, representing the 1987 World Series, and a lot of people commented on that. That was really fun. The Saturday night gala was just over the top, a beautiful sit down dinner, lots and lots of recognition the whole weekend. They really recognize everybody for whatever level they're at, and they gave a lot of awards out on Saturday night at the gala. Like I said, everything was just first class.
Positive note, was it the presidentials that went on for what, 20 minutes?
Recognition.
Recognition, that was so cool.
Yeah. They had really some good speakers. John Maxwell was there, and we have heard him before, but he always has just such a great message and really promoted personal growth again, and just all the different things you need to do to stay connected. And like I said, he pushed personal growth, and I guess that's so important. If we're not going to grow, our team isn't going to grow either. We've heard that before, of course. I guess those are some of the highlights. I know there was just many things, but we'll let some of the other people tell what they thought.
All right, Heidi.
All right. Oops. All right. So I think the most important thing I took away from that is that we are not direct marketers. We are relationship marketers. So we're in the business of building relationships. We're not in the business of selling patches or sharing patches. We're in the business of building relationships. And to me, that was key, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about building the relationships with the people that get involved in this business with us. And I think that's key, because then they know that they're cared for, and that if they have a question, someone will be there to support them. And I think that's so important, that people know that they're going to not join you because of what you're selling or what you're sharing. They're going to join you because of who you are. And so for me, that was the most important thing I took away. And yes, everything was just over the top. That black tie gala was amazing. That plated dinner, you felt like it was a red carpet event. Like it was some sort of like, I don't want to say Grammys, because I don't agree with all that, but that's what it felt like. Like you were going to some big awards banquet, and it was so well done. And everybody was just, the whole event. If you're not there, you're not going to experience it. I mean, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but if you're not there, you're not going to experience it. As we know, and as we all know, big decisions are made at big events. So that's my key takeaway.
Awesome. Rich.
Wow, you're so good so far. Guys, I tell you what, going to that convention, I think what Heidi says, big decisions have been made there. I've always in past conventions that we've gone to, everybody tells you how it goes from your head to your heart. I never understood what the heck they were talking about. Nothing went to my heart except heartburn from all that good food we used to eat. With this convention, I tell you what, it went from my head to my heart. And we truly are in a company that is going to change the world as we know it today. This is not a company that sells patches. Guys, we're saving lives. We're changing family lives. We're bringing children or parents back to their children, wives back to their husbands, husbands back to their wives. We've seen it ourselves in the miracles that have been happening around us. And, you know, we can't say how this is happening anymore, but man, we're changing a lot of discomforts. And for a financial, what do you call those, side gig, I've never seen anything that even compares to this. This, folks, this is as easy as it gets. It's as easy as it gets. Pat somebody, they're going to feel better. They're going to join us. It's pretty, to me, that's pretty easy. And by seeing what David's doing, seeing what our leaders are doing, this is the best organization I've ever been involved in, bar none. I mean, and we've been in some good ones. I can't say anything bad about them. There's just something about LifeWave that it's unbelievable. And Heidi's right, though. You can't experience it unless you're there. You know, you have to be there, and you have to feel that energy that's in this building. I know that as you guys know, the ones that were here, I had the opportunity. I have to help out my daughter babysit for my grandson this week. And I'm having the time of my life, but without those patches, I wouldn't have the energy to keep up with that little man. I'll tell you that right now. He's full of energy. But also I haven't been able to stop sharing this with people. You know, it's hey, I don't know what this conference did, but it's got me so motivated. I can't wait to get home and share with all those people I did, because they're going to hear something.
Rich is in Florida and Heidi's in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's why we're not on the same line this time. And I'm taking care of my 18-month-old grandson, and I am having the time of my life, but I haven't had a chance to share, but I just found out other ways of doing it online. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait, guys. Hop on this train because it is going to the top, all of us.
Yep.
This is amazing.
I think we were pretty blessed to have the online option for those who couldn't come. I think they said there were just as many online, because not everybody can do that. Nobody can afford it, or they're financially, or if they just had commitments. So I think it was great that we had this option.
We're blessed.
We didn't have that option with other companies. So second best place is to be online if that's not a thing we can do. All right, Mary. We have a whole new Mary here today.
I'm hoping my dermatologist thinks it's grand. I had an appointment today, just kind of a little background for an annual skin check, and I had the patch on my neck. And she's like, "What is that?" So I had a chance to share, and at the end of the appointment, she said, "It sounds like a little side gig is a good deal." We had talked about retirement and why and all of that, and she asked me for the information. I didn't have to ask her if she would like it. And then she said, "Can I share it with my other patients?" I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. I think one thing that I took away from this time together with all of these people is the commitment to God. Everything revolved and God came up a lot. And that resonates so deeply with me. And it makes it much easier to share. So along with everything else, I thought it was wonderful and lots of great information, but I like hearing, I love the story of the woman from Hawaii and how she knew in her heart that she could call and ask for help, and she got it repeatedly, He sent more money and he sent more money and he sent more money. That's the kind of people I want to be involved with as leaders. So it was good. Glad I was able to go and participate and hear everything firsthand, but signed up for next year.
How many people, Mary, did you approach while you were gone at the convention?
I was able to talk to 3 people on the flight down, both people on either side of me, and a woman in front that was taking her family on a Make-A-Wish. I talked with my neighbor, one person on the flight back who's seemed very interested as well. And then as I was waiting for my ride at the airport, a woman was standing there and I said, "Oh, well, where were you?" "Oh, I was in Mobile, Alabama." Well, I said I was in Orlando at a convention for LifeWave. And, "Oh, what's that?" So I was able to share and she gave me her email address. So I gave her a card and so I was able to share with her too.
And the chiropractor somewhere before we taken pictures and yeah. So I gave Mary the award of Mary was my roommate and we had rented a condo with several people and I gave Mary the award of getting out of her shell the most because she was just
Oh yeah, that guy downstairs too. Another company. I forgot about him.
And so I just saw a huge transformation in Mary going because of the convention. I mean, I really felt that you had felt the synergy there. And you were just like so much more comfortable than me with these strangers. So
I don't have a problem talking, as most of you are aware. I just need to be more comfortable with what I should say and again, how much I should say. And, just plant the seed and not be like, who was it? Dr. Stacy, who said you vomit your words on them, but it's kind of, I don't know, if questions are asked and there's time, I feel like I need to give answers without getting too deep into it, but I don't know.
awesome.
I'm working on that.
Penny, do you have anything to add? You're on mute, Penny. You're muted, I mean. So I got to meet Penny in the airport. I said something to Marilyn or somebody, and then Penny's like, "LifeWave? Oh, I'm LifeWave." So that's how Penny and I met.
Yeah,
You're eavesdropping. Yes, you were. So we
what
got
I like is Onyx got up there. So, she's like this giant. And right away she gave credit to others. And that whole feeling of, we may be one, but we're not anything without everybody else. And David had that. He's bowing all the time. He's so humble. But it's like this whole it's like there's like this family of LifeWave. And when it started too, there was this light show and everybody's standing up in the big screens. Everything was well laid out and well thought out. So I told Cheryl, we knew each other from Nu Skin, and Nu Skin's a bigger company, but I felt this was on the same level of the thought of maintaining a group and not just being so entertaining, but invigorating and informative. I just felt the wish that the company had to give us all a little boost. I really in support. Yeah, I thought it was well worth it. I'm already signed up for next year.
Me too. Awesome. It was good to meet you. John.
Okay, I couldn't get the mute off. The cat decided to lay on my lap. So I loved how, I mean, everything like everybody's saying is organized. It was just felt like a red carpet event at the dinner, but everything was so for us. I mean, David Schmidt and LifeWave spoil us rotten. I mean, everything that we got nice backpacks. It wasn't the cheapy, ones that you use once and it's going to chair. A nice backpack, the nice tumbler, nice things. Even the managers all got to go up, the directors all got to go up. Each level got something, and even being a director, I got a rose. I thought that was pretty cool. And there were what 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't even know how many minutes it was of directors going across the stage. But there was a lot of people that have ranked up. And then just everybody from all the different countries, everybody learning how to interact with each other. And at dinner, we sat with some of the Japanese ladies, and we had one of them out of the 5 spoke English. So she was teaching us how to speak a little bit of Japanese, and we're all, doing the bowing. And it was really cool just to have that different culture that you got to learn something about. It was really, really neat. I signed up even before we left that day for next time. Hopefully it's not during closing, since I work in accounting. I'm praying it's not the last couple of days of the month or the first couple of days, or I won't be able to go, but I'm already signed up. But it was absolutely incredible. And I can't wait to see double the people there next year.
Yep. I'm gonna bring triple. That's my goal. Triple the number.
For sure. I think
Um,
Cheryl's on too, so you
yeah.
can ask Cheryl.
I sat next to Don during one of the talks, and Don's on the phone constantly posting stuff. Just like highly impressed that you can multitask listening and then putting all this stuff on. So a great job. I mean, I learned a lot because people are posting these videos. I need to learn to, take some of these videos, because like I took a bunch of shots of David and his wife, and I probably wouldn't have, it was just that moment with David and his wife was extremely tender. So David did give out a humanitarian award to somebody, and then his wife comes out at the end and gives him the Humanitarian of Humanitarians award, which was an Ironman fist. And she was just really, really poised with how she did this. And I actually watched that again today. Somebody had posted that.
Oh, really? Because I missed it. I was booking my cab. So do you remember who posted it?
Somebody on your site, I thought.
Probably on the Wellness Warriors page. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I thought it was on Team Celebrate, but whatever. Yeah, it was just, she was just so appreciative and talked about how he's always thinking of everybody else. He really, really was. And another time he was given an award to somebody for something. And the guy starts talking about David, and David grabs the mic and says, "This is supposed to be about you, not me." So even me, he picked up on that. So that was pretty cool. All right, Cheryl, you have anything to share with us?
Yes, I'm sorry I'm not on camera, but I just got out of the shower before I came on the Zoom. So for me, the most profound thing is David's talent and abilities. I'm kind of a science geek wannabe personality anyway. And so one of the first things that grabbed me about LifeWave was the fact that I dove into the product and I was like, wow, there's nothing else like this out there. And how in God's name did this guy do this? Create these patches with crystalline structure that has organic material. And I thought that was amazing until I got to convention and I started to see a bigger picture of David and his abilities. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And, really I wanted him to show us all what that next product looks like that's coming out. So, it's like I was holding my breath the whole last day. It's coming, it's coming. And it didn't, but I mean, we got bits and pieces, let's just put it that way. But it's going to be a game changer, an absolute game changer. And like Penny said, she and I were in another network marketing group together. And there were two things that took people's business and catapulted them. And number one was an innovative, unique product that nobody else was selling. And number two is opening a country and having someone positioned there. You see people that were doing good and then went to next level. And that's all coming. And then I think the other thing for me, John Maxwell, the speaker, was really, really good. And hey, I absolutely love drums. I played drums when I was a kid. I love drums, and there was a lot of drumming entertainment, and that was amazing. And I will tell you, I walked out of that I've been on the phone for 2 days calling people. I found a person has a bunch of connections in South Korea. I found a person that is lives in the US. She's from China and she's moving to Australia, and she's over the moon about the product. So it just gives you this being there in person. It just gives you this energy, I guess, and like literally last night, tonight, I'm on Zooms, which you guys have not seen me on one yet. So that's changed too. So yeah, it was amazing. And I bought my ticket for next year as well. And, they told us that they were only going to hold this price for 48 hours, I think. And it's still there. So
72 hours.
Oh, is it 72? Okay. So
I
that
know.
must end tomorrow then?
Night at
Probably.
midnight, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
All
even
right.
even if you aren't going to go, it's really worth buying one, and because maybe you'll go, and you can always sell it, because as we could see, people were trying to get tickets right at the last minute, and so it's still worth buying the ticket for $147. That is really cheap, which is 110 less than the full price. So I think if you can do the extra bit right now, I would do it. All right, thank you, Cheryl.
Mhm. Hey, Anne, I
yeah.
just want to say too, just because the people that weren't there, and I'm assuming they're definitely going to honor this, but they had told us that because they haven't announced where it's going to be or
Right.
the dates. So they said, if it doesn't work for you because we haven't locked that all in, you can get a refund. So just FYI to everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. I think they were trying to secure a place, and they were not, I think. She did say that they're trying to secure a place, and it just wasn't secured yet, which is why they don't have it. And plus, how do you plan for the next year? This had 3,000. I mean, they need 6,000 for next year. It will definitely double. I'm sure people will bring a lot more people. So it'd be hard to predict, but anyway, it'll be good wherever it is. All right, Steve, can you tell us what it's like being virtual? What did you get out of it being virtual?
Hello, sorry, I had to move to a different location. I was running out of power. I liked it. It was actually, I mean, obviously it's online is never going to be the same as what you guys experience when you're down there. And honestly, I really missed it. I could feel the energy even watching it. So on Friday, I mean, I still had to work, so I was trying to watch it while working, which that's why I'm so interested in the recording, is I would hear things, but I couldn't hear everything all the time. And I want to go back and listen to it because there's so many things that were coming up that I would kind of get bits and pieces, trying to focus on my job and then listening to the presentations as well. But very impressive. I really didn't know what was going on. I didn't really understand some of the things that David was talking about. I didn't know anything about anything about drones, didn't know anything about whiskey. So those things kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit, trying to understand where he was going and what he was doing with that. So, and I've been out of touch with LifeWave for the last 4 or 5 months. So didn't even know we were kind of changing our marketing approach and changing the language. And because I went back online to the LifeWave website and saw nothing about stem cells, and went, okay, where did all that go? So I got to catch up a little bit. So I'm a little bit out of touch with things, but very impressive. I mean, I really liked what I heard. It's very exciting to hear some of the things he's talking about that are coming down the road in the future. So I'm really anxious to see what that was all about. And it's funny too, because I would hear different things from Dave, especially Saturday. I would hear little things, from my perspective, because of the way I look at things in the world right now, little things like freedom of speech and our food supply being inundated with chemicals and MNRA and a bunch of other junk. It's like, wow, he kind of knows what's going on out there, and he kind of is a believer in what I've looked at, but I wasn't sure anybody else really looked at it that way. So that was kind of neat to hear some of the things that he was saying that kind of validated a little bit about some of the things I was thinking was going on. And so to hear him, somebody as brilliant as he is, and obviously he does research before he opens his mouth, so he knows what he's talking about. So that was impressive, but overall it was great. So I'm gonna see if I can put this together and show up next year.
You can, if you think you can, you can. He did talk about food supply, and he had a picture of that, of growing food, and it looks like hydroponics, which is already existing, so we know it's not that. And he kept saying for us to grow fruits and vegetables, in these climates. So I am super interested in that. Can't wait till that can come out and water. So, I mean, I was completely blown away by those pictures. I didn't know we were going to be good to growing food. And then he talked about the telecommunications, and he talked, when he said about free speech, like he said, platforms so that your speech will not be taken away. So, wow, I don't know how he can get all these things going. That was pretty cool. But Robin, if anybody doesn't know, Robin is my niece, and Robin is the one who introduced me to LifeWave. So we are all on this because of Robin.
Oh, isn't that exciting? I don't know how to unblur because I'm not very tech savvy. So we're just, oh wait, I found it. Okay, is that better?
Yes, either way was good.
Yay.
Robin's
Oh wait,
in
hold on.
California.
I got a little helper.
Oh, look at here, Ryan.
He's my little marketer. You guys, I had massive, I don't know about you, Steve, but I had massive FOMO. I didn't mean to, but I was missing out. I already bought my ticket and I am going. Unless
Yeah, it's
something
funny
crazy
because
happens.
that's the exact word I kept thinking about was FOMO. It's like I felt so out of touch and so much wanted to be there with everybody.
Oh my gosh. An 80s theme, like I wanted to put my leg warmers on and just start going. Like I love the 80s. So I mean, I just missed out. I missed out. And like you said, I didn't get to see the crowd except for when you guys were like going on stage, and I had my camera ready and I was going to take snapshots. I never saw you guys go up there, but I saw the names go. So I took snapshots of that, and it felt like you guys were movie stars, and I was all like, oh yeah. So it was awesome. Yeah.
What major thing did you get out of it, do you think?
You know what? I was, well, lots of things. The only disappointing thing, I was like waiting for like this new patch. Like I was super excited to get that. So then I'm thinking, okay, okay, I'm waiting. And I think everything else was great. The humanitarian and all that is awesome. But I just kept waiting for Nirvana. I want my Nirvana back, things like that. That was my only disappointing thing. Is I shouldn't say disappointing. I was waiting for it. And so I guess my, expect level was going a little crazy. But I mean, it was just so exciting. There was 5 sessions, and I felt like I was a little bit behind because I would text Ann or I'd text Jaime or something, and you guys are like, I'm eating. I'm like, wait, I'm still watching, and so I think it was slightly delayed a little bit.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Becky. Becky was with us part of the time. Becky had a wedding, and so she had to leave us early, but
Here. Okay, I think you can hear me now.
yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Great.
So I jumped on here a little bit late because I had a granddaughter's swim meet, so I'm not sure who was the first one on this evening to share.
I was
You were. Okay, did anyone talk about John Maxwell?
a little bit, but go for it.
Okay, so I've had the privilege of listening to him a couple other times during other conventions and companies that I was involved with. One was Discovery Toys way back when, and then I think we even had him at one of the Team National conventions. I know that I've seen him a couple of times, but it was so nice to see him again, and I just had forgotten how much I appreciated his style. And for him, it's about consistency, you know, defining what you want and then having the right tool, taking action. And he talked about how, you know, it's not good enough to have a dream or a picture. You have to actually take the action to achieve that, and that you need to stay focused. And I think for him, you know, with the consistency, you know, someone asked him how he could write so many books. I think he's written like 90 books. And there's the 5 essentials. Every day he reads, he thinks, he files, he asks questions, and he writes. I said, well, what about on Thanksgiving or on Christmas? He said, I read, I think, I file, I question, I write. So in many ways, it's just an affirmation that we need to touch our business every single day. And sometimes it might not be as much as others. I think consistency is something that if you say, I'm not going to do it today, but I'll do twice as much tomorrow, pretty soon you've buried it and it's not going to happen. So the consistency is there. I have a little sign that's called Eat the Frog, and it's got a picture of a kind of an ugly toad. And I try to use that image every day to get me to get past eating the most undesirable part of what I think is going to happen that day. And sometimes that's not really undesirable. It's just that for whatever reason, I was afraid to tackle that particular task. But once I do it, then it kind of enlightens me to get on with the rest of my day. And it sometimes takes me further than I thought I was going to go. And I liked what he said about consistency versus intensity. And he said, consistency will beat intensity every time. And so it's okay not to be running the race 24/7. Sometimes we have to up our game, but that consistency it's like the path of the turtle versus the hare, I guess. And so I really like that. And I'll be going to Savers here again, which is my favorite thrift store, and probably picking up some more of his books. I did have to leave on Saturday, so I know that I missed some of the things that I would love to have captured, so I'll have to be catching up. There was a veteran that I saw a part of a blurb on, and he was talking about that he had patched all, I think it was other veterans, and that they called him a snake oil salesman or something. And he actually said, well, thank you very much, because based on what you would consider a snake oil salesman, I'm glad to be on the other side of that coin from you. And I would like to know who he was and how he was introduced, because I would like to share that. The other thing is I saw that they had honored, I think Steve and Gina Merritt. They were the first recipients of the Richard Quick Award. Yep. And Richard Quick, if you don't know, is the Olympic swim coach that used the endurance energy enhancers on his swim team, and then was accused of doping them, etc. And I went back via Google, found a YouTube of him giving the 2005 speech at that convention for LifeWave. After he used the patches with his swim team, he then came on with LifeWave as a consultant, and I think a huge proponent, spokesperson for them. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 55 from an inoperable brain tumor. And I just have to to think that maybe if X39 had been around then, that maybe we would still have him. Remarkable man. And what I liked about that, I've shared it quite a few times now with other people since I've been back, is that again, it shows us that we are a company that's been in business for 20 years and where our beginnings came from and where we're going. And I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Thanks, Becky. Becky, I'm always impressed with you, how you dig farther into a topic than the average bear. I think, like, to go watch Richard Quick's speech at a ceremony. Wow, that's pretty impressive. So I always appreciate the extra little things you send me. Like, have you seen this? So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Mel Baker, what can you share with us? You know how to take it off of mute, Mel?
All right, here I am, alive
Oh,
and in Technicolor.
here. Good to hear.
Okay, well, the reason why I didn't get there is because I went to This Is It, and I have a wife that's in dementia. So I had to do online for this convention, but I was really impressed with how this convention was all over the world, which, wow, it made me a wow feeling. So anyway, the bottom line is this. I am looking forward to going to Mexico.
Mhm.
This Is It. And it will be my 50th wedding anniversary next month in November. And I'm trusting that I can somehow get this, free trip and use it as a wedding anniversary present. Anyway, that's my thought. And that's what I'm going to do. And now that I've spoken it out, now I'm going to have to fulfill it. Well, also, the biggest thing, too, that I got out of it was Dr. Stacy. And Dr. Stacy was very, she's a MD doctor of quantitative, medicine and regenerative medicine. And she didn't use any of the verbiage like stem cells or anything like that. When she talked to people, she made them curious. And that's one of my things that I would like to, whatever that word is, try to do, to make people ask me the question, oh, what is that patch for? And then to be able to have the verbiage to be able to continue it and then say, well, I'll give you some more information. The inquisitive part, and then I'll give you some more information. I'll send it to you. Give me your email address and name, and I'll follow up with you. And that is, I think, was what I would call the key to that convention for me, was to be able to be normal and have people to be inquisitive and ask me questions so I may be able to help them. So that's my story. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Here's my picture of Dr. Stacy and I. I didn't ask for a lot of pictures with people, but I really wanted her. I really like her. Thank you. I talked to Mel yesterday and he was so on fire. I was like, Mel, you got to get on this call. So I really like that Mel decided he's going to be on that trip. There are lots of trips available to us, and they are all on that recap that the corporate sent us. And even if you think it's not attainable, at least try to go for it, because why not? It's just really good to have goals and envision yourself on that trip, with your family or with your other teammates. And why not? It's good. Maryland, I think that's the right Maryland. That's on the
is there more than one Marilyn on here? Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, your last name wasn't on there, so I'm never sure who's.
Oh, okay. Well, that's because you're not seeing my face. That's why.
That's right, your lovely face.
Anyway, well, I echo a lot of what everyone's already said. But one of the other things that I gained from it, I think, is just interacting with so many of the other recipients there and talking together with people and saying, you know, what are you doing that helps you get your business better? And there were so many times between breaks, or you're waiting in line with somebody, or even waiting to get into the ladies' room, you had a chance to meet somebody and just strike up a conversation with different people you didn't know. And I really liked that, because I think you learn a lot. And there was things that, you know, outside of the meeting itself, as our group that went from Minnesota, that we got to have discussions and share and find out who says what and does what and how that works for them. So to me, those little things were good learning. But as several have already said, John Maxnell, I thought, was a very good motivational speaker. I really liked what he said, and all the things that Becky just echoed about John in his speech. He's one of the best motivational speakers I've ever heard. And I had never heard him before. So as several of you said, you've heard him over the years, but he was really good. I don't think I can add too much to what, you know, others have already said about the entirety of it, but it was a great experience. I'm really glad I took the time and I went and enjoyed it all.
I'll add two things. This hologram situation, I think we didn't really understand. We certainly don't understand the depth of what this means to us. Because I think when that was over, we all kind of looked at each other like, what just happened? And David, it looked like he teleported himself in there. That's how it looked. And because they had the shaped like Star Trek's teleporting place. And then they had the smoke in there. And then all of a sudden David was there and they had the music on. So I thought that was really awesome. And then Mandrell, Howie Mandrell, all of a sudden he's in there. I'm like, what? No, what's he got to do with this? So I don't think David invented the hologram thing, but he's working with something with that. But so to have him, on the update that they sent from corporate, they explained it a lot more, that how people can be in many places at one time. That's the idea. And it's just like a Zoom meeting on steroids. It's just the next level. And so like, wow, that's gonna be pretty different, pretty impressive, but like, that absolutely blew me away. And then what Marilyn said about the little conversations you have with people. I was talking to my daughter and she said when she goes to these conventions, that the things she takes from most is those conversations. She loves the stuff on stage, and she says, I often know a lot about it already, but it's the conversations I have with everybody else, like asking, how do you do this? And what's your verbiage and stuff. So I really hope to get better at that next year of going, being a little more forward and talking to people.
Hey, Anne.
Yes.
Also, oh my gosh, I just lost her name. The influencer.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually wrote down a few things because I think we all try to find that, not find it, but be that influencer or find the influencer. And we all are kind of our own influencer. We just have to put our own special little spin on it and not have the doubt inside. Like for me, I'm extra hyper all the time. So I think my, maybe that works or doesn't work in my favor, but I'm going to try to do some of the things that gal had mentioned, because she's global, she's everywhere. People know who she is. It's like she's her own little influencer. So I was thinking about that a lot too.
Yeah. Yep. We always want to find an influencer. That would be good.
Yeah.
Well, that woman, whatever that woman that did the Rachel, her name was, right?
Was it Rachel or Tina? I don't know. I can't remember now. I lost it.
Oh, I filled up
thought
the
it-
entire notebook that they sent us, so it's in here.
Well, anyway, the interesting thing is I had lunch today with a friend of mine that I've known for many, many years. And just out of the blue, she mentions Rachel's name, this, social media speaker, author. She's read many of her books and she says her books are incredible.
Hmm.
So I don't think Rachel really talked about her books that much, but
Oh,
yeah.
You know what you said though too is you don't need an influencer, but it helps to have one.
Wasn't her name Erin King?
Oh,
Erin,
maybe
here we go. Erin King.
that's what it is. Yeah, Aaron, that's right.
Yeah, she had a story about the half perm. You got to go all the way. You can't just do things halfway.
Well, it was one event that changed the whole dynamic of her life and her business. One event, and it was that one picture, which I think that's inspirational because you never know, right? The one person that you talk to.
Yep. Got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories of like the people's lives who we have touched, or had I not said yes to Robin, had somebody that said to me, all these things are one person to the next person, next person, whose lives were changing. And we don't even know these people's lives were changing, but by us saying yes to sharing the patches, we just have such a opportunity here to change the world. It's
Mhm.
just amazing.
And Bridget just asked about product updates. So do you want to take that one or?
Well, there aren't any new products in that sense. Bridget, do you mean like
Well, what's coming? Okay, so I'll take it if you want me to.
okay, sure.
So this is what I gathered, and it was all the 3 days that we were there. We got little bits and pieces from David, and so you have to fill in some gaps. He has another technology that's coming out that is not a patch, and this technology is going to be released in 2024. The way I'm looking at this is when David invents something, it's like nothing else out there. So he's got to build the manufacturing around it, right? I mean, the patches, for example, all the robotics and all that they had to create. So when he's done all this testing on it, and now the manufacturing piece has got to be all built. I don't know when next year, but again, I'm going to just say this. This does not mean this is what it is, but I'm just putting pieces together. But he has figured out some way, whether it's frequencies that can be put into liquids, right? Like, I think it's that brandy, but we're going to get some device that allows us to put frequencies in our water, or whatever that is encrypted with the codes that are about the longevity in life, which we can't talk about healing anymore. So what he said was it reverses the age of the cells by 3 years after 30 minutes, I think is what he said. And that's what all his testing came up with. So yeah, I mean, we don't know what it looks like. But I think my guess, if I were to guess, he's going to unveil it on the 20th anniversary. That's just my guess.
Wasn't it having to do with the heart?
I think it has to do with lots of things. And the reason I say that is because when he was at Steve and Gina's house and everybody was wearing white clothes. If anybody saw that little speech, he was talking about this machine that fixed people pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that I feel that that veteran that spoke, he was a recipient. They used that on him. And so I was like, the climax, I'm like, tell us, because he's like, we can't tell yet. And I'm like, please, because I was assuming it was going to come out at this convention. And because I remember at the Stephen Gina's house, he had said the longest, it was like 2 minutes that the longest person took for it to have an effect. So cannot wait for that. The brandy, which by the time we got to it, it was gone. But I get a full bottle because I'm anybody who's a presidential director gets a full bottle. So I get that in January. Woo! So I'll let you know. I have no idea what that's going to mean.
Bridget, we don't know. We don't know.
I'm not a drinker, and so I don't really want to be promoting alcohol. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, Bridget,
wow.
Bridget's asking, what is it? What I don't, again, we don't know, but I think we're going to get a device, a piece of technology that's going to allow us to put frequencies in what we're drinking. That's what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be selling bottled water or anything like that. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll sell the machine. I just don't know. All I know is going to be amazing, and I'm sure it's extremely expensive. I don't know if doctors' offices are going to have it, or chiropractors, or whatever health places are going to have it. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the frequency thing wouldn't surprise me because that's been a technology that's been out there for a while. Obviously not to anywhere where David's probably taking it, but
right. And with those specific
codes for a long time.
Yeah, with those specific codes. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but when they showed the new Utah Center, there was like this big water, right?
Food and water, yeah.
Yeah, and so there is something about that. I think that there's like he's figure out how to put the frequencies in the water and the food and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's the Leela, that's the quantum energy, and they do have frequencies in food. I mean, there's like a big 15 by 15 by 15. I charge all my water and my food, and it tastes different. I mean, it's there's a sourness of this one supplement, but as soon as you drink the water, it turns sweet. And so the water is charged. And so I don't know, David is taking it way beyond that, but it's because that's just like getting everything in line. David is actually putting frequency, using the Bible passage and all those numbers. Frequency, all that is just like beyond me. It's like, whoa, I don't even understand, how he finds the synchronicity of all these different modalities, and he pulls it, and it's like, and he keeps lining these up, and they keep turning out with the same number, and it's like, wait a minute, this is like so out there, but it's so he's so kind that I know it's going to be good. There's no doubt that I can see all of us just like big Cheshire cats. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. We're at the right company, we're in the right time, so much opportunity here that I don't know, we're just blessed. Anybody have any general questions? I kind of want to keep it at an hour, but just any question for any reason, not from the convention.
Hey, Ann?
Yes.
Just an FYI, I was actually just going on to my virtual link that I had for the convention on Friday and Saturday. And now everything is listed as on demand. So the recordings are there, at least for those that have the virtual link. I don't know how you guys get it, but
I don't think
there.
we do. I don't think we do. Do we? Do we know? That would be great.
Yeah, I clicked on a couple of them and they started playing.
Cool. Yeah, so if you can, get signed up for the conference, that'd be great. Any other questions? Marty, you have any questions?
I don't, I'm just listening to it all and taking it in.
Yeah, it was great. Anything anybody else wants to add? That we
Yeah,
missed?
I want to add, oh, no, add question, in reference to more testimonies. How do I get more testimonies?
The Telegram pages are still up, and LifeWaves is called LW, excuse me, Quantum Teams is called LW Stories. Somehow it showed up in my Telegram, and then I was just back on them, so I didn't know if they put everybody on. So those are still there. And then I'm also part of Evolve's stories and the practitioner stories. So that's the ones that I use.
This is it. Info has stories, it has testimonials too.
This is it. Yeah. Thank you.
Steve and Gina's.
Do you have?
Yeah.
Steve Depa, do you have that address? This is at info.com. That's the new one that we're using now.
What's
Steve
it for? I'm sorry.
Oh, Steve and Gina and then Onyx, they just split,
Yep.
not in a negative way, but just because the teams are too big. So they started their information ones that we share now is this is it info.com.
Oh, yep, I already have it bookmarked.
Okay, good. Yeah. And they're
I
coming
still have not been able to get on the Facebook thing that you sent me. It goes to Facebook, but it just goes to general Facebook. It doesn't go to the Celebrate team thing.
I could invite you. Are we friends, Steve? On
Yes,
Facebook?
we are.
Okay. You post a lot, huh?
Yeah, at least once or twice every 10 years.
Yeah, I will invite you. All right, I got that. Yeah, and anybody else who's not on that Facebook page, Team Celebrate, Don's, like I keep saying, Don's doing an amazing job of doing that. And Lynn, hello, Lynn. We finally get to meet. Kind of up to, let's see, what's Lynn doing? Hey, Lynn, wake up here. Not listening. Lynn and I haven't met. Okay, anybody else? Well, thank you for being on. Next week's title is Getting Started. That will be interesting. I'm hoping some stuff shows up in the meantime of how to get started that we're going to be using. So that'd be great. All right. Thank you, everybody, for talking and being on and adding to all this. It was amazing.
Night, everyone.
Let me stop.